Okay, we're good.
And I want to thank everybody. I know it's a beautiful day outside and you'd rather be outside than be in. And so I hope we can have a short meeting today, and then this way, maybe we can enjoy the evening if we all have anything to do tonight. We're going to start off with on the agenda with the public session. I understand that we have two speakers for the public session.
Yeah.
For the speakers on the public session, be mindful that we are giving 3 minutes per presentation. So that's 6 minutes in all that we have. If anybody has a question concerning the presentation, any board members or any community member has a question on what's being presented right now, please reach out to the board because we'll have other information, and we will ask the presenters to give their number if there's a number that has to be given out. So with that, who's the first that has
It's Yolanda Rivera.
Yolanda Rivera?
Yolanda Rodriguez. I'm sorry.
Yolanda Rodriguez, yes. Ms. Rodriguez.
I'm sorry.
Hold on 1 second. For those that are not speaking, please mute yourself. Be courteous to the speaker. And if you can't, then I will mute you. I don't want to do that. And we could take it from there. But please, thank you so much. Ms. Rodriguez.
Thank you. And hi, everyone. Good evening. So I'm from the Josephine Herrick Project, which is a not-for-profit organization in the city that provides photography classes to underrepresented, misrepresented, and underserved communities throughout New York City. So Josephine Herrick was a photographer who taught photography to World War II soldiers to use that as like a healing modality for them to overcome a lot of the trauma from war. So since then, the Josephine Herrick Project has taught not only photography to veterans, but to seniors and to the LGBTQ community and to the disabled and to NYCHA residents and to children and teens at risk. And I'm here tonight to ask your help to identify anyone who's willing to partner with us, whether it's a school or a community-based organization or community center who would like to take these photography classes. You know, and part of the philosophy of JHP is this whole theme around social justice and photography. And I'm sure everyone who's listening knows that if it wasn't for the cell phone camera of a 17-year-old, you know, that filmed the murder of an innocent man, you know, this would be a whole different story that we would be talking about. So I feel very strongly that photography during this pandemic has really played a huge role in the lives of so many of our communities. So that's it. I think I have a minute and a half more, but I don't know if anyone has any questions.
Anybody has a question for Ms. Rodriguez? One quick question.
Just to put her information on the chat so that way when I send it out,
I see
her information will be there.
It's on there. Yes.
No problem.
Okay. Well, thank you, everyone.
Hold on. We got Maria.
Yes.
No, I was just saying the point. We're going to contact you. I'm sorry, your email had just gotten lost in all the daily shuffle, but we will be getting back to you, you know, to see ways both of our programs could connect.
That sounds awesome. Thank you.
And Maria, so like you know, Miss Yolanda
Yes.
Rodriguez, I want you to know that The Point is one of our biggest organizations as it pertains to working with the youth here in
Yes, I
Baltimore.
know.
And so I was going to ask, I was going to mention The Point, but I'm glad that Maria Torres raised her hand very quickly and say, yes to your request. We definitely have a lot of things that we need to get documented in our community. So thank you for your presentation. And by the way, I think that besides Maria, I would like for Maria to have you come down to her committee. She's the chair of the Municipal and Economic Committee. And then I think that she has a lot of information and you have a lot of information that you both can share at the committee. Her meeting is the second Tuesday of every month.
Okay,
So what we'll do is you'll reach out to Cynthia, and Cynthia will get you'll have to put a request form to make a presentation. But we everybody knows now that we're going to put it towards Maria's committee, which is the ECHO and Municipal Committee.
For this month?
For May, if we don't have a lot of items.
Yeah, we do, I think. So it'll be for May or June. We can
Okay.
schedule it. That's not a problem.
Wherever we can fit her at.
Yeah, for Echo. I got you.
Okay, thank you.
thank you. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Bye.
Next
Who's
up,
the
we
next
have
one?
Louis.
Louis.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, Louis.
Good. You got the same frog that
Kevin,
that
you should
that,
mute
that
yourself.
Julia
Hold on,
had last.
Louis. Hold on, Louis. Kevin Ellison, please mute yourself because you got background noise, Kevin. Thank you.
I just want to make sure. I just want to let everyone knows that the point at Urban Health Plan are vaccinating people.
Yes.
We do it at the point. And the biggest and the most important thing is that you don't need an appointment to get a COVID-19 vaccine. We do it on a Monday, Tuesday from 9 to 5 to Wednesday. Today is going to go all the way until 7 o'clock, and Saturday between 10 and 2 o'clock. You don't need, if you have any issue with immunizations status, you don't need to be to have your legal papers. You could go there and get vaccinated. All what they asking is to bring you either a ID card, could be a passport, could be whatever you have, because they want to make sure that you is you, that you are you, right? So again, today we have some people walking around the boulevard and Hunts Point, and this information is so big out there. One lady just told me, and this is I just want to share with you. So you see that we need to keep pushing it. This lady, she told me, "Oh, what are you doing here? You should be downtown." And I'm looking at her and said, "Well, what do you mean downtown?" Oh, because the Blanquitos are. He said, "No, we here because the Blanquitos are already vaccinated. We are the one who are not vaccinated. So we need to talk to people here." So again, we're gonna be at the point Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Saturday. It's for free. You don't need to pay. You don't need to make an appointment. Please, send this information to the people who you know. I already put all the information on the chat. If you need more information, the address is 940 Garrison Avenue, Oneida entrance. Please take advantage of this, because in our community, there's not that many pop-ups vaccinating people. And we have one there in Hunts Point. Use it, please. Thank you.
Yeah.
I just wanted to add to what Louis was saying. I sent a few people to him and he assisted me with getting them there and making appointments for them. They're all satisfied, so it does work. It doesn't take too long. Nobody gets hassled about anything. So please, you know anybody, just send them there, make appointments, send them there. It does work. It's very good. Thank you, Louis.
Thank you for this.
I also want to state that if the problem with what Louis is not saying is that if we don't use these vaccines that are being given, there's a possibility at the end of the day we may end up losing them, because they'll send it to another area that's also just as bad as we are. So we have to put the word out there to everyone that we know, all our family members that have not been vaccinated. I know that there's a lot of stories out there about vaccination, but I got vaccinated. I got my 2 shots. I'm still alive. I have family that got in J&J, and they're still alive and healthy, thank God. And I think that what we need to do is make sure that, um, we gotta make sure that the point as well as urban health, that those services get used. Otherwise, we're gonna lose them. And it took a fight to get them here. Let's not lose them, and let's put the word out there. So Louis, thank you very, very much on
Yeah,
that.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, one more thing, Louis. Are you gonna give us statistics as to how many people and what were the issues and everything, so we could hear real numbers and see if it's working? You think you keep us informed of that?
Yes, I think I can get that information. And now that we are in the community talking to people, just listening to the weird stories that you can even imagine. You were here and down there. But I just want to add that now that Bobby mentioned it, the vaccine that we're using is Moderna. So you need two doses. One is now, and the other one is in 28 days. So you will get an appointment for the second, shot. But it's Moderna.
Yeah, so I want to thank both of you, both presenters. Louis, is there someone that they should call? Even though I know that I believe at the point, most times it could be at walk-in, but is there some place that they can call to make sure?
We don't, since we want to have it like walk-in.
Okay.
The other telephone that I have that I could put in the chat is for appointment. So if you know that you cannot go now, you can make your own appointment. You pick your date, the time, and all you have to just follow. You have to text the word vaccine or vacunas on this telephone number that I'm gonna put on the chat, and then you're gonna receive a link, and you just follow the link, and you're gonna be able to open your own small record and get your date and the time of the vaccine.
Thank you, Louis. Somebody has an open mic out there. I'm sorry, but somebody's got an open mic, so can you please be respectful and mute yourself? You could stay on, but please mute yourself so like that we can hear what anybody else has to say. Thank you very much. And Ms. Rodriguez, please feel free to reach out to Ms. Torres. It's crucial that we start documenting a lot of the stuff that's going on in our
Oh,
community.
yes, absolutely. Thank
Yeah.
you. Good night,
Thank you.
everyone.
Is there anyone else for the public service, public session, Ralph?
No, that was the only two that submitted it prior to tonight's meeting. So we might have some things in announcements.
Okay, thank you very much. So that at
And
this
now we're
point,
gonna just make sure that everyone put their information in the chat so we can just document everyone that's here. I appreciate that. Thank you.
thank you, Ralph. And so that concludes the public session of the agenda. We will now go into, is there someone from the 401 in?
We're now going into the business section of the agenda.
No, the commanding officer's report.
Guglielmo's there.
I'm here, Chairman Crespo.
How you doing, Sarge?
How you doing? What's going on?
I don't know. You told me.
If you don't know, then I don't know. I have no idea. First and foremost, I want to apologize. Captain Schublin has been detained. So we had a homicide a few days ago on 165th Street and Fail. It was between two drug dealers. The perpetrator was actually apprehended within the last hour. So he's on the phone right now with the chief of Detective Bureau and the other bigwigs going over the case. So basically, it was two drug dealers. They have a long history. One of them had been in and out of jail, lengthy rap sheet. We have a car there every night just to hold down the section, but there's no reason to think that there's any kind of uptick in violence in that area. We think it was just an isolated incident between these two guys. They had a beef, but the perpetrator was apprehended within the last hour. So Captain Schublin is there. So I'm going to give you the year-to-date stats now if you guys are ready.
Yes, sir.
So fortunately for the 4-1 precinct, we're actually down in a lot of our categories. We're down 22% in robberies, 17% in felony assaults, 28% in burglaries, which we're happy about, 13% in grand larcenies, We're still up a little in GLAs. We're up about 11%. We took two more than last year. Once again, the problem with the GLAs is what I've been saying over and over again. People leaving the keys in the vehicle, running into the deli to go get a cup of coffee, and then you come out and your car's gone. 9 times out of 10, we find the vehicle within a day or two, and it's parked somewhere else. But that's the issue with that. Also, we had an uptick in these motorcycles, these dirt bikes that are out on the street, the ATVs. So Captain Shublin and I came up with a plan on Saturday. So basically what we did was we set up a kind of a checkpoint, and we had spotters on one side of the Bruckner, spotters on the other. I can't really divulge the location, but it was on the Bruckner. And what we did was we let them come into an area, and then we shut it down, and then ended up some arrests, some summonses. So I'm happy to say that we took 14 dirt bikes and ATVs, and we actually caught a gentleman with a firearm on Friday night. He actually had a gun in one of those fanny packs that he was wearing across his chest. So we're going to continue to look to do that this summer to try to curb, the issues with the dirt bikes. It's all illegal dirt bikes. None of them have license plates. They don't have insurance registration. So that's just something that we're doing to combat the issue.
Thank you, Sarge. I really want to thank you, and I also want to thank you and the captain, as well as the men and women in the 4-1 on this arrest. I was worried because I know that it was a very heavily drug area, and I was worried that a fight, or rather a war, might break out. And I'm glad to hear that the individual was apprehended.
Okay, here you go.
I'm glad that the individual was apprehended, and that that's one less problem that we have to worry about, unless the courts let him out within the next 2 hours.
Too loud.
But I just want to say thank you to you and the men and women of the 4-1.
Too loud.
Thank you, Chairman.
All right, and as to your report, I know that you guys are doing as much as you can, and you guys got a great team there. I don't know if it's the same sentiments throughout the rest of the board, but I know that anytime that we've had anything that we've had to address or had concerns of, you guys were there to address it and work with the community on the problem. So thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And I want to thank you too, Guillermo. Thumbs up to you guys.
You're welcome, my love.
Okay, baby.
All right. So that's the commanding officer's report. We are now going into the business session of the board. I wish to remind everyone that this session is only for board members. Board members only. If you're not a board member, or if you're not a city agency that we are talking about, that you have to respond to a question, then you please understand that we cannot recognize you, because otherwise we would be here till tomorrow. If every issue that will come up, and by the city charter, this is the area that only board members can speak. So we are now going into the business session of the board. And with that, is Yvonne on?
Yes.
Yvonne, can you do the roll call, please?
I'm on. Yes, sure. All right. Good afternoon. Good evening, everybody. When you hear your name, please let me know that you are here. Delvis Austin Jr., Evelyn Arauz, Love Bensecourt.
Here.
Thank you, Miles Burnett.
Before I forget, Evelyn Arauz was also excused for this full board meeting because she's still out.
Gotcha. Thank you. Miles Burnett. Luis Castillo. Fios Conyers.
Here.
Stephanie Cordero. Robert Crespo.
Present.
Altagracia Cruz.
She's someplace in here.
I was on the phone earlier. Julia Cruz.
Here.
Sandra de Jesus. Kevin Ellison.
Kevin, I know you're in there.
He's here.
Yeah,
He was on earlier.
Yeah.
He's still on though. It says he's
All right,
still on.
Sonia, gotcha. Sonia Ferguson. Pascual Gomez.
Here, present.
Thank you. Shataria Greg.
Present.
Here.
Alexandra Guadalupe. Who is that? I'm sorry.
That is Kevin Anderson.
That was Kevin. We got him.
We got him.
Thank you, Kevin. Alexandra Guadalupe.
She's out today.
She's out. She's excused because she's at school today.
Gotcha. Next page.
Next page, Ralph.
Jesse Harris.
He's here.
Shaquan Hunt. Jennifer Kelman.
Here.
Jeffrey Korn.
Here.
LaShawn Lindsay.
LaShawn is excused for today. She just got, I don't know if she's on, but.
No, she's
Talia- All right, thank you. Talia Simone Lindquist.
Present.
Barbara Lopez. Roland Lopez. Nicholas Mario. Luis Marrero.
Louis on.
Right here, right here.
Cedric McClester.
Cedric was excused for today also. Medical.
Reverend Monique Minnis.
I'm here.
Thank you. Reverend Moses. Lynette Olmo. Thank you. Maggie Ortiz.
I'm here.
Larry Robinson. He's here somewhere, right? He's here today. Richard Sherman.
Here. He's not signed in yet.
Maria Torres.
Here.
Marilyn Roten. Pastor John Udu.
Marilyn is in.
Yes.
I saw her sign in.
We're good, Mr. Chair. We have quorum.
We have quorum?
Mhm.
Okay, thank you very much. With establishing quorum, we will now go, as we have stated before, these meetings are recorded. You can go to YouTube and go to the YouTube, I think it's,
Let Spider-Man play with Elsa.
excuse me, somebody's open out there. Where these proceedings are being recorded and will be shared at YouTube.
Okay, I got it. Look at it.
Go ahead.
It is being shared and with YouTube, and Cynthia can put the address on the chat for whoever wants to review it.
Danielle
But-
put it already. She'll put it again.
Okay, thank you, Cynthia. But I need to have a motion to accept the minutes. Motion to accept. Who's that?
Richard Sherman.
Richard,
Sherman.
okay. Richard Sherman. Anybody seconds?
Sure, Jesse Harris.
Jesse Harris.
second.
Jesse Harris will second it. I will go opposite from the way it normally should be held. Is there anybody in opposition of the adoption of minutes? Not hearing none, the minutes are adopted with whatever corrections need to be corrected if need be. With that is my report, the chairman's report. It's going to be very quick. I want to first say that I want to thank everybody that has participated in some of the activities this past month. There was a food giveaway by Council Member Ayala, and there was a few board members there, and I want to thank those that were there. I want to thank those that participated in the 41st Precinct Autism Walk, which was very successful, very good, very nice. Community Board 2 donated water and some back to school supplies that was badly needed at the time. I also want to thank the array of board members that were at Police Officer Mears' retirement at the 4-1 about 2 weeks ago. There was a lot of board members. I want to thank them that were there. We gave him a plaque on behalf of the board, and it was something really nice to see. Some of the old timers that have retired from the 4-1, as well as the new officers that were there, and the way the community showed its support to the 4-1 precinct. It only reflects that a partnership between community and the police can only work if you trust each other, and this is, I believe, a good way of showing we trust each other. I also want to thank our chair from the Housing and Land Use Committee, Ms. Paula Fields-Conyers, for creating, performing, and having a great meeting. That I also want to thank the staff of Community Board 2, which is Ralph, Cynthia, and Danielle, for helping Paula put this thing together, and having the management companies come down with the police department and discuss the problems. There's going to be 2 more, I believe, 1 or 2 more meetings that will be held with these same individuals to create a policy and put on paper and signed by everybody and sent to the elected officials, because this has to stop when we're putting pressure on the police officers to make arrests. And the problem is that before the officers finish their paperwork, individuals are out. Individuals that are homeless are sent back out into the street without no social workers working with them and trying to get them into any house.
They said yesterday, when you said Jesse Harris.
And so I just want to tell everybody that I want to thank everybody for being part of that. I'm going to let Ralph discuss a group called 912 Development. They're coming before the Housing Committee, I believe next month, in the month of May. They have 3 projects in Community Board 2, and not once have they come before this board. Not once have they told us what are their plans with their buildings. Not once have they discussed temporary jobs, community jobs, permanent jobs. Not once have they done this. As a matter of fact, Ralph reached out to our liaison at HPD, and the liaison was aware, but made aware just maybe 2 days ago about this project. I don't know why they're keeping it so quiet. I would ask everybody that's here today that they present themselves for the Housing Committee on Tuesday. What day is it, Cynthia?
Wednesday.
The housing is May 5th, Cinco de Mayo.
May 5th, right. And I want everybody, if possible, be online for that particular meeting. We will have a blast notice out to everybody that's here today. This has to stop, where developers are just doing what they want, and now they just want to go around the community board and do what they want to do.
Fresco, when I saw the addresses, I'm not going to name the addresses, but one of the buildings, it was a shelter previously. So I don't know if it's like a domestic violence shelter. So before we don't, please just don't say no addresses until we figure out.
I'm not going to say the addresses. I'm not saying the addresses. I'm just saying that what is the secrecy that they don't want to tell us anything? I am going to ask our elected officials that are on now to make themselves available on Tuesday, if possible.
But no, it's Wednesday.
Wednesday, I'm sorry.
It's Wednesday, Bobby, please,
Yes.
yes, Wednesday.
On
Wednesday,
Wednesday.
May
We
5th.
invited them.
Wednesday, May 5th.
We have not heard back. They have not confirmed. We invited them. They have not
They
confirmed.
just emailed today saying that they're going to check their schedule and see if
Yeah,
it works.
they haven't confirmed yet, so we can let people know that they
But
confirmed.
they did respond. They haven't confirmed, but they did respond.
Either way, that's the day we need to talk about this. And some way or another, I would hope that our elected officials make themselves available if possible. Because I know it's short notice for them, but if possible, to make themselves available to discuss this. Because if HPD decides not to give them the money, that means that they will go to the state to get the money. And the state will ask them to, it could be that they can request a shelter. So I need to try to make everybody aware of what's happening on this particular issue. But
Bobby, can I just ask you a quick question? This is Senator Sepulveda.
Yes,
The
sir.
property as a matter of right?
We don't know. We don't know what it is. That's the problem. We
All
don't
right.
know. We don't
All right.
know. And we don't know what they want to do.
All right, I'd be happy to, with Ralph's graces, follow up with a call or a letter to them, finding out why they haven't given us the meeting, getting this information.
Well, Ralph will be on next and he can, if he's got more information, he could share with you guys on that. But
Okay.
I just need to let everybody know that I am truly disappointed because I thought that the city knew the stand of the board, that anytime they're doing any housing in Ward 2, that they had to come before the board and give us information so like that we can digest it and decide which way we want to go. And this is one time they didn't do it, and I'm a little disturbed behind it, to say the least. But other
Mr.
than
Chair,
that, yeah,
can I ask a question? So as of now, they are not getting any HPD or city funding for that project?
as of now, we understand that HPD is going to be doing the funding.
Do they not come to the community first?
That is the question that Ralph has tried to get answered. Ralph has been trying to get it answered. He even called Ted Weinstein. Weinstein didn't have an answer other than he just found out about it 2 days ago or something to that effect. And Ralph can clear up my time frame if I'm wrong. But you know, this is why I'm saying I'm really disturbed at what the city has done.
Has construction begun? Is it finished? Has it begun? Or what
No,
stage are
no
they?
construction, no, from what we understand, no construction has started. It's something that I think we might be able to stop if it's not suitable for this particular community board. And I think that's why they have not put a shovel in or anything like that. Because maybe somebody realized that they dropped the ball somewhere and we weren't notified. So that concludes my report, unless there's any more questions you want to ask.
Maggie has her hand raised.
Maggie.
Yeah, Maggie's disappointed because nobody told Maggie about this meeting with management. And what about my management? I've been reaching out to this board about my building and the drug use and the needles and everything that's going on here. And everybody's just like, what am I supposed to be doing?
Maggie, 2 days before this meeting was held, you asked me the same question and I told you the same. I'm giving you the same answer I gave you then. Your management is refusing to meet with us. Your management is paid not by the city, but by the federal government. We are now trying to reach out to the congressman to hope that the congressman can bring that management company to the table.
I've also reached out to him, to his liaison, and he hasn't got back to me either.
Well, then, you know, we're going to,
Then-
we're going to be reaching out to Congressman Torres and ask him to intervene on our behalf. I'm sure he will be responding very soon. I will ask Ralph to try and reach out to the congressman and let him know what our position is and what is the problem.
Doesn't he have liaisons that come to this meeting?
I would assume that he does, and sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. I'm not sure.
It's very disappointing. All
Paula
right.
has a hand raised also.
Excuse me?
Paula has a hand raised.
Yes, Paula.
Let Maggie know that this meeting wasn't about complaints, drug use, or anything like that. It was strictly about safety and health concerns for the seniors that dwell in PRC, basically, and all the other management companies, SEPCO, Wavecrest, Dugard, and Banana Kelly.
Well, I know that there is some safety concerns in her building, and either way, that management company should have been there as well, but they didn't. So we're going to be reaching out to, I'm gonna ask the district manager to reach out to the congressman's office and have the congressman or his staff member, whoever he designates, to address this issue for us and get that management company possibly at the next meeting that we have with the housing, with this particular issue of public safety in the buildings and in the surrounding areas. All right? Anybody else? Not having none, I will now pass it over to the district manager. Ralph?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good evening, everyone. I'll be as brief as possible. Just want to let people know that the office technically will be opening on Monday. I think all city offices are opening on Monday to an extent. It'll be alternating schedule, but the office, someone should be at 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. The one thing on our end is that the building is still closed. So walk-ins are not going to be allowed in the building, but we'll have staff there, if that makes sense. It's just a city ordinance and we're going to have to comply with it. I just want to let people know that I've also been following up with sanitation. There's a lot of hot spots and debris and buildups in certain locations in the district. And I'm doing walkthroughs with sanitation to follow up with that. If there are any complaints, please let me know. And I can certainly follow up. I will appreciate it via email, because the email be the best way to document everything. And that's mainly it for now. I know you said a handful with the housing stuff, Bobby. And yeah, if there's any questions or concerns, people can reach out. Thank you.
Thank you, Ralph. That was the district manager's report. So now the borough president's report. Alexis?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I'm happy to hear everyone on the call tonight. I hope that you're all doing well. So just a few reminders. So 2019 Community Board reappointments. Community members who have submitted a reappointment application should continue to serve until they receive a letter from the Borough President's office regarding their reappointment. As for new applicants, you will receive a letter from the Borough President's office regarding appointments in the middle of May. So keep an eye out for that. If anyone has any additional questions, they could feel free to email me. And I just want to encourage everyone to get vaccinated, to return students safely to schools, reopen businesses, and recover from this pandemic. Thank you for the time.
Alexis, can you put your email on the chat?
Of course.
Thank you.
Thank you, Alexis. Okay, now elected officials. Ralph, are there any principals on?
Yes, we are State Senator Sepulveda's here.
Okay, Senator. Senator?
Hello. Can
Hi.
you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you, Bobby. Thank you, Ralph, everyone on the board for the great work that you do. Certainly, we always appreciate having you as a part of the leadership in our community. So just a few things. I know we want to go out to the nice weather at the state Senate level, some of the things that are happening. As you know, we're trying to increase or decrease the unemployment rate in our county. And so we allocated about $800 million in grants and loans for small businesses. Small businesses are the backbone of our community, and a lot of the businesses in our district are not able to access this capital because they don't have the right paperwork, counting principles, they don't have tax records. And as a result of that, people are not able to access these loans. So we have to make sure, and what we're trying to do is, through our offices, bring these kinds of programs to our local businesses. They're in a better position to access this kind of money. And there's a lot of money that's coming in through the federal government and through the state. And we only accessed about 2% in the Bronx, and that's because a large part was because of this issuing, maintaining records. We're also working with many of the groups to get people more vaccinated. We started early when vaccination program started. We started our own program in our office called the Vaccination Waiting List. And as a result, we were able to vaccinate directly about 1,500 people. And we're very successful with that program. Now, there's more places that you can get vaccinated. The age requirement is increased. You know, if you're over the age of 16, there's no reason why you shouldn't get a vaccine. There are many locations in the Bronx, some pop-up walk-ins, but you have locations like the South Bronx Educational Campus, the Northeast Bronx YMCA, Co-op City, Dreiser Community Center, Bathgate, Contact Postal Station, the West Bronx Gymnasium, and Lehman College. Please get vaccinated. Like Bobby said, several of my families have Moderna, some have Pfizer, some have Johnson & Johnson. And, you know, you have a little discomfort usually with the second shot of Moderna or Pfizer, but it's worth the inconvenience. You know, we still have a lot of people in our district that are not vaccinating. There are a lot of concerns of communities of color. And in order for us to reach herd immunity, we have to get at least 75% of the population vaccinated. So please, if you're having difficulties, if you need someone to go to your house to get vaccinated, please let us know. We've worked with so many providers in the community, Urban Health, Essen, Bronx Docs. They've done great work throughout our community getting people vaccinated. We also are going to have, you know, taxes are going to be due May 17th, I'm sorry. My office tomorrow at 2 o'clock is doing a webinar with the Legal Aid Society that's going to help you navigate your taxes, including how you can benefit from some of the social federal relief monies and how that's going to impact your tax returns. So I encourage all of you to log on to the webinar. It's going to be a great amount of information. Our office, we're still physically closed. We're going to be opening soon. However, we're still servicing about 55 to 60 people per day on things like unemployment, issues with food insecurity, vaccinations, testing, protection from landlords. We're running the full gamut. So if anybody needs help, our information is going to be put on the chat. My office is ready, willing, and happy to help the community. So let us know. And then Ralph, Bobby, put me on for Tuesday, and I'll do whatever I can to work with you guys on that issue.
It's Wednesday. Just
Wednesday.
Cinco de Mayo. Cinco de Mayo. That's what you have to be.
Wednesday, Cinco de Mayo.
Okay, Bobby, you have to provide tequila to everyone that goes, okay?
Oh, well. I don't...
Virtual tequila.
Yes.
Yeah, virtual tequila. I can do that virtually. Yeah, I can do that.
All right. Thank you, guys. God bless everybody.
Thank you, Senator. Any of our assembly members on?
No, Bobby, let's just go down the list now. That way we don't forget anyone. So let's do the mayor's office. I think Suri's on. Suri was here.
Suri?
Suri Miranda.
Hi,
Yes,
good
she
afternoon.
is.
Yes, I'm
Thank you,
here.
Suri.
I'm here. Hi, I'm sorry. Hi, good evening, everyone. How are you?
Hi.
I want to first say that I'm really sorry that I missed the meeting that Paula coordinated. I was out in bereavement, but I'm back. So please, if you can put me back, I will be more than happy to join the next meeting. To everyone else, good evening. I just wanted to thank everyone for specifically supporting the event that we had in CV2, bringing resources as part of the Garifuna Heritage Month. We did had a very successful event, and it was a specifically thank you to everyone who shared the flyer or went to the event. I do want to make sure that we continue to make this outreach events, because we do have specifically folks who need information, as Luis Marrero was mentioning earlier, that need to receive firsthand information, specifically to talk through any hesitations they have about the vaccine, etc. So if you have any interest in coordinating this for a block party any resource fair, please reach out. If there are any other city issues that you may be experiencing, I was listening to the situation with HPD. I'm more than happy to assist in trying to get HPD to provide an answer to the matter. I'll drop my information in the chat box. Ralph has my information as well as Bobby. So if there's anything I can assist, please do reach out. Thank you very much.
Suri, our condolences on your bereavement. I know that it's belated,
Thank you.
but our
No,
condolences.
thank you. And it was Victor. You'll probably see him. And I'll make sure I share that with him. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Ralph?
Yes.
Senator
Senator Biaggi. Anybody from Biaggi's office? Angel? Normally it's Angel. I don't see Angel on. Or
Yeah, I
Emily.
didn't see Angel or Emily today.
Or Emily. All right. So moving on, Assembly Member Septimo. Going once, going twice. Council Member Salamanca. I think I saw
Maritza's
Maritza
here.
on.
Going once.
Maritza, are you going to give a report here? Hello, Maritza? All right, we're just skipping on. Council Member Ayala, I think Jose's here.
Yes, I am. How you doing? Good evening, everyone.
Jose, good evening.
So I want to thank everyone. I want to thank Bobby. I want to thank Ralph. I want to thank Cynthia. I want to thank the entire community board for assisting with the food distribution last Friday. Without your help, it would not be possible. I really want to give a shout out to Officer Sokola and the 41st Precinct, because without their help, it really wouldn't happen as well. It was a successful event. Over 300 boxes of food were distributed, and to those board members that were in attendance as well, thank you so much for participating. Please let us know about the meeting with HPD on Wednesday. Like to let the council member know if she's available. She will attend. If not, then I will make myself available. But I definitely will reach out to HPD to find out as to why they have not responded to the community board, at least with a response as to what's going to happen, et cetera, et cetera. Our office, as you know, has been open since June, while everyone is going to be open coming in the next couple of weeks in May. Our office has been open since June, full staff, servicing our constituency. As you know, unfortunately, we serve an underserved community and the need is extremely great. And individuals definitely need that service. Individuals need services for the recertification. Individuals need simple services such as faxing a form over to a city agency. And unfortunately, a lot of our older adults don't have that capability, as well as the capability of sending over an email. And our office has been doing that since June, and we will continue to operate in that fashion. In the next coming months, where as the weather gets warmer, the council member is looking to do, guidance permitting, more outdoor activities. And one of the locations we actually spoke about during our food distribution was doing something at Fox Playground, possibly a movie night, and we look forward to doing that. Beyond that, I just want to thank you all for your service and thank you for all that you do on behalf of the community. Thank you.
Thank you, Jose.
I'm sorry,
And
Rob, can I say something to Jose?
what, love?
I'm sorry, the council member Ayala's rep, what is his name?
Jose Rodriguez.
Jose Rodriguez. Jose Rodriguez, I want you to thank Cynthia, because Cynthia, Ralph, and Bobby, they were there. And believe you me, they could have been doing something else, but they're always there for you guys, okay?
I did.
So
No,
I want
I
to
thought I
shout
did.
out Cynthia, Ralph, and Bobby.
No, thank you, but he did say
He
it at the very.
thank you. He actually thanked us, but thank you.
He
No,
thanked
yes,
you guys,
no.
the board.
And I'll thank them again. I'll thank them again, because without their help, in all honesty, that event would not happen. We want to do another one, and it was very successful. And the need is there, unfortunately, and we will do our best to try to fill the gap that we need to. Thank you.
Thank you. That was Ayala. City planning, anybody?
I'm back.
Oh, Maritza's back.
Oh, Maritza, you gotta wait now. Go ahead, go.
I wait.
Can you hear me?
Go ahead, go.
Oh, okay,
We hear
cool.
you, Marissa.
Oh, okay. I just want to announce that tomorrow, Thursday, we're gonna have a weekly COVID testing on self-swaps testing. So from 9 a.m. to 4:30, if anyone is still interested. And just a reminder, anyone who gets vaccinated, you still have to wear your mask because there are still people who still have COVID. So please be careful and stay healthy and safe. Thank you.
Thank you, Maritza.
Thank you,
Thank
Mari.
you.
You're
Assembly
welcome.
Member Kenny Burgos.
How you doing? Can you hear me?
Hi. Yes, sir.
All right, I'll be brief. I know we had a lot of reports and we have more to go. Just quick recap. My office, including myself, we joined the Southern Boulevard bid in a quick sanitation cleanup just a few weeks ago. So thank you to everyone who came out. Shout out to Miles and Paula. That was amazing. We got a really good cleanup on Southern Boulevard. Thank everyone for the 41st precinct, for the autism walk, especially Detective Juth. That was a really, really incredible event. I was happy to be part of. We've done some COVID testing at the office. I want to also announce Amazon has moved in nearby to the area. They're hiring rapidly, and I've pushed heavily to make sure to hire locally Bronx residents. So anyone who is looking for work or know someone, go to amazondelivers.jobs. I'll put it in the chat, but I think that's going to be critical. You know, we have these big businesses coming into our area, and at the very least, I think our biggest focus needs to be that they are hiring locally the people that live in this neighborhood. And then just to quickly wrap up, today in Albany, we rescinded an executive order that Governor Cuomo put out last year during the pandemic. So this is, I guess, in light of the good weather, this is to rescind the executive order that requires a food purchase with alcohol now. So whether it pertains to you or not, but now you can just go out and not have to purchase food with your alcohol purchase as well. And with that, I will conclude.
Thank you, Assemblyman. And thank you for convincing, for overriding the governor's, it was killing us for a while here with the bars. I guess we'll get more bar applications now, but it's okay. Kevin, are you on for Assembly Member Jackson?
Yes,
Kevin?
I am. Yes, I am.
Okay.
Good evening, everybody. I just want to thank the board, and I want to thank everyone here for being a part of this meeting. I'll be brief, and I just want to I dropped my information on the chat for anyone who is in need of assistance. Please contact our office. We offer all kinds of assistance, and if we can't help you at that office, we'll find you someone who can. And we don't turn down anyone. So our office right now is open by appointments only, but we make accommodations to anyone who needs services, say like vaccine or printing services. We can go to the office and help you with that. Tomorrow we have join us in a conversation tomorrow. The Assemblywoman will have and other electeds will have a conversation on the Marijuana Regulation and Taxation Act. I dropped the registration link below. I think if folks are concerned about this new law that's been passed, it'll be a very interesting conversation. So please join us tomorrow. If you have any questions, I'm gonna drop my information on the chat again. Thank you for the time, and thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Kevin. I just want to remind you that the Assemblywoman has stated she was going to start an advisory committee for her district.
Yes.
And that I stated I wish to be involved. So please let her know that I'm still interested in it.
Okay, no problem. I will make sure to include you in the advisory. Thank you for reminding us of it.
Thank you. Congressman Torres. Anybody from Congressman Torres's office?
Our normal rep is Victor, so he's not here right now.
Okay.
I don't see him.
No, he wasn't on.
Okay. The controller's office.
Marielle is here.
Who?
Marielle and Anderson. They're both.
And Anderson. Oh, Anderson.
I saw Anderson. I didn't see Mariel.
So we need one of them to speak. Anyone.
Mariel is here.
Thank you,
How you
Mariel.
And
doing?
Anderson can also speak. I'm very great. I know, Bobby, one day you'll get used to me being on this board. Maybe. But, you know, but con cariño. But
You
I
guys,
just
you
wanted to
guys
say,
share it. You guys share it. So I don't know who's who.
we
you know?
do. You know, Anderson loves he lives here, he loves the board, so he joins on the meetings. But I just wanted to say thank you for all of the work that you all do. And please keep us abreast of the meeting that's happening on Wednesday to see if we could be helpful, at least with the communication piece, because that's something that our office is very good at, and Anderson has a very good hold of city agencies as well. So if you can connect with him or I about that meeting. The controller launched an investigation regarding the purchase that was made on ventilators. So there was a purchase of millions of dollars that was made during the height of the pandemic of ventilators that we never received. So we want, and we have not gotten a refund for. So part of the controller's role is to oversee the finances of the city and to make requests, audits, or reports on ways that we can utilize our money better. And clearly, with an item that we needed at the time as ventilators, and us not receiving them, and nothing really happening to that point, like the city does not have money to give for free. So we want to make sure that that money is attained back, or we get the services that were promised to us. I just wanted to say also that I will be going on leave for the next 2 months. So Anderson will be taking over the responsibilities of the board. Like you all know, he knows the community very well. I live within the community, so he would be of service as he usually is. I'm not sure if Anderson wants to say anything as well, but thank you so much for having me. The work that you all do is great, and I appreciate being a rep on this board. So thank you.
Now you know why I keep getting confused. Thank you.
Yeah. Also, I think Assemblymember Burgos has his hand raised, and I'm sorry
Yes,
that
sir.
I didn't. I saw his name before. I thought it was one of his staff members, so I apologize that I didn't acknowledge him. But Assemblymember Burgos, you have your hand raised.
Actually, it's me, Monica Monzon, and I wanted to also mention, well, good evening, everyone. Thank you, Community Board 2, Chairman. You're the greatest. I really admire you. I just wanted to say that.
See,
And,
thanks. I'll
and,
in the mail.
yeah. No, I like it. I like that. I really do. So I also wanted to mention the Assemblyman. I just wanted to add a couple of things to it. If anyone is having any issues with the unemployment office, we're taking care of those cases. We have communication with the Department of Labor, so you can I put my information there. You guys can email me, or you can refer them to the office. We are fully open with appointments. Yes, we do have our walk-ins for emergencies, and we also have our housing specialist. We have someone that's in our office every Wednesday that is taking care of anyone that has any rent arrears, any type of problem with HPD. So you guys can also reach me. You can also refer them to me. You can email me, and I can schedule an appointment for them. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and thank you for letting us know the other part of the Assemblyman's agenda. Thank you.
No, you're welcome. Thank you. Have a good evening, everyone.
Good evening. I can take care.
Chair.
Department of Health. Is there anyone here from the Department of Health?
Hi, good
Anita's
evening. Good evening. This is Anita Reyes.
Hey, Anita's here. Hi, Anita.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for inviting me. I just want to give you an update about what's happening with vaccination. As you probably have already heard, that we are now accepting anyone to come into any of the sites, anyone that's eligible over the age of 16 to walk into these centers to get their vaccination. So no appointment is needed. That's really important because I know in the past we were talking about having issues with the appointments. And so at this time, anyone can get vaccinated. We have 24-hour sites. In the Bronx, we have one at Bathgate, and in Manhattan, we have one at One Center. So please feel free to tell your constituents, clients to stop by if they want to get vaccinated. We do know that we have to build confidence about the vaccine. And so in order for us to do that, I want to encourage everyone to please, if you'd like a presentation or if you'd like someone from the health department to please contact me. I'm happy to schedule a presentation. Thank you to the community board too, Ralph, Ralph connected me with one of the companies in Hunts Point, and I did a walkthrough and talked to the employees and really addressed their concerns and questions. And so that's what we're going to have to do. We all have to work together to try to help the community understand what these vaccines are about and how they're going to benefit us in the future. And so with that, I also want to mention that, you know, these vaccines are safe. They're highly recommended. These vaccines do not contain any virus. So that's a myth that's out there in the community, and it does not alter the DNA of anyone. So please, these are messages that we want to get to the community, because that's some of the things that we're hearing. Just recently, we did hear from the mayor who announced that the city will immediately resume using the Johnson & Johnson. So the decision was basically made by the federal government, so the Food and Drug Administration and the Centers for Disease, that they've lifted the pause. And so that means that the agencies really reviewed all the data on the 15 reported events that happened. And this was out of 8 million people that were administered the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. And of those, there were 15 people that had a rare blood clotting condition. But the FDA has really come to a conclusion that this really outweighs the benefits, right? That people should continue to get vaccinated. And so the providers are going to start vaccinating. I know that the site at Co-op City has started to offer Johnson & Johnson today, and I think it was a good outcome. So there are people out there asking for Johnson & Johnson, so that's a good thing. We do know that the mayor announced that there's going to be in-home vaccination for homebound New Yorkers, and that's going to resume. That resumed, I think, on Monday. So people are going to the homes. There is a vaccine bus that is also going around, and it's offering Johnson & Johnson. And then we also have pop-ups at NYCHA and other places that will be offering the J&J. So that's all I have for now. Please, if anyone has any questions, feel free to contact me. My email is areys@health.nyc.gov. And my phone number is 917-721-08. Sorry, I'm giving you my personal number, 917-751-9102. So sorry about that. Thank you, everyone. And please, let's work together to see how we could get our communities to get vaccinated. Because out of the 6 million people, we're seeing that, you know, the Hispanics and Blacks are the ones that, again, are not getting the vaccination. So let's work together to try to get the message out there.
Thank you, Nita.
Nita, make sure you leave your information in the chat also. That'll be great. Thank you.
All right, go ahead, Ralph.
Moving on, is there anyone from the Public Advocate Office? Normally is Brian. Is Brian here? I don't see Brian. And then we already heard from the precinct rep. So, Mr. Chair,
We have Christina.
You have Christina from the DA's office.
Did we skip her? Oh, I'm sorry. There's more people here. Yes. Anyone? Let's go down the list. Anyone from sanitation? No one from sanitation. Anyone from the fire department? No one from the fire department. So Christina, I'm sorry, from the district attorney's office. Christina Calderon.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, Christina.
Hey, Bobby. Hey, Cynthia.
We're the two that reminded him, by the way. Don't forget.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
I just like to leave you for last. It's the best for last.
Thank you. I was wondering how far he was going to take it. Hi, everyone. I hope everyone is well. I'm Christina Calderon from the Office of the Bronx District Attorney Community Affairs Unit. So just to give you information, our Crime Victims Assistance Unit is still giving services out to victims of crime. If you know of anyone who is a victim of crime and like to receive services, no matter what those services are, our unit could help you with that. You can reach them at 718-590-2115. They help with mental health services. If victims need assistance with finding residents, they also help with that as well. So if you know of any victim of crime, whether charges were pressed or not, have them reach out to our Crime Victims Assistance Unit for assistance if needed. Also, our Community Affairs Unit, the unit I'm a part of, is also taking constituent calls. If you have been involved in a crime and would like to know more information about that crime, you can reach out to us at 590-2272. And on another note, we are still in the midst of planning a gun buyback within the confines of the 40th precinct. Right now, we're in the midst of finding a suitable location for that buyback. So as soon as we get the details and everything is finalized, I will be emailing the community board with that information. Thank you.
Thank you, Christina. And let the DA know that we still love her. We'd like to see her once in a while. And most importantly, we have been asking for a gun buyback in the 4-1 for several years. And we've never, I see that the 4-7, the 4-9 always gets it. And we don't see nothing happening in the 4-1. I would like to see if the DA can arrange. I know it has to do with the federal government and trying to get money from the Department of Justice to do this. But we need to see if we could establish a gun buyback in the 4-1 precinct, because it's beginning to become crucial in our community.
Okay, Bobby, I'll definitely let her know. When it comes to gun buybacks, we do partner with NYPD, and we do go by the crime stats in the area. So right now we have done buybacks in the 4-9 and 4-7 due to the violence that takes place in those precincts.
No. You came in broken up, but I understand that it's all about stats. But as you probably heard when we first started the meeting, the 4-1 had a shooting this week. Luckily, they caught the individual. That's, those are the issues of concerns that we have. Even though the crime stats may be low, there's still a lot of guns running around the streets of the 41st precinct. And so if there's anything that can be done or anything that we need to do, please feel free to let us know.
I think she's gone. Something happened.
Yeah, that's fine. I got it.
Okay. Okay, no problem.
Someone needs to 718 caller.
Ralph?
Yes, Bobby.
Christina, you still on?
Yeah, I'm still here. You hear me?
No, Christina, because her name keeps popping up.
Yeah, she probably came back in. We'll get back to her if we need to. So let's
Okay.
just move on. We already went over sanitation. Is there anybody here from the Department of Aging? No one from DIFCA? Okay. So that will conclude the elected officials.
That concludes the elected officials report on our agenda. We will now go into the committee minutes, meetings, and resolutions that are presented before the board. I see that it's Echo. So Maria, are you on?
Yes, okay, and I'll do this quick before my dogs start barking. We had no voting items last month. DOT came to present a project that they would like to do from Westchester Avenue from Southern Boulevard to Whitlock. But I believe that was to be held for further discussion. So we will be meeting further with them to discuss that. And then Maria Matos of the Census Bureau came and gave an update regarding the data dissemination, but there were no voting items, and you can check the videos, I guess.
And thank you, Elvis, for chairing the meeting.
Yes, I wasn't present. Elvis was. Now Elvis isn't present, but I am. So
No,
we're
Elvis
creating.
is on. Elvis is on.
Elvis is here.
Oh,
Elvis
he's
is here.
on? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So just a big thank you. That was a big meeting.
Yeah.
Oh,
Thank you,
okay.
Elvis.
Yeah.
I heard that you handled it well. You pulled out the whip and kept everybody controlled. But thank you, Elvis,
All right.
for that.
Thank you, Maria. Next up.
Next up, FLP, franchise license permit. Reverend John.
Yes, sir. Yep. Please,
You're on.
Can the district manager help me? I'm on my phone.
Okay.
Yes, not a problem. So we'll go over this. The first item on your agenda is to review a new application for La Finca Bar and Grill located at 960 East 165th Street. They're applying for a full license. They'll have recorded music and a jukebox. They have a full menu that meets the legal minimum. There's no outdoor permit for this location, and it was also a transfer application that's current from Exito Bar, and that's the Exito serial number. And then Mr. Albin Infante is the new owner for La Finca. Is Mr. Infante present?
Yes, good evening, everyone.
Good evening, Mr. Fante. How are you?
So the motion was passed at the committee level, and Pastor John, that's where we're at now. So I don't know if you want to entertain a motion to, for it here, or if you want to go into discussion.
Well, once the committee adopts it.
The committee approved it at the committee level, so we just now need
a second.
We need a second here,
right?
And then discussion. So if someone wants to second it,
anybody wishes to second this?
Values second.
Thank you, Talia.
You're welcome.
Talia second. Okay, is there a discussion on this particular license? I'll ask one more time. Is
no discussion? So
okay.
Pastor John, we got to go into a vote.
All those in favor of this? Well, I'll do it the other way. Is there anybody in objection to this particular license at this time?
Hearing none.
Hearing none, I will take it that the board approves of the license for this particular location. Just to let you know that the license is approved for only 2 years.
Abstentions. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Abstentions.
You asked if anyone was objecting, but now we got to ask if there's
anybody abstaining from the vote. Hearing none, I will then state that the board has approved this particular license, and I will state that this license is approved for 2 years. We'll be coming back for renewal in 2 years, and I hope, and I really hope that the owners keep to their word to this board, that the precinct does not have to be making numerous stops at this particular location, and that that it'll be the establishment that we've always wanted in that particular area. So
yeah, I thank you guys for the support. I definitely will continue to work closely with the 41. So that's a good job over here.
I will only tell you one thing that I believe, and I make this offer to all developers, and I make this offer to anybody that wishes to have a license to become members of the Franchise License Permit Committee, or to the ECHO, to the Land Use and Housing Committee. So I will tell you that.
Yeah, I would love to. Yeah, if you could forward me the information, or I would love to be a part of it.
Oh wow.
Okay. All right, let's move on then. Okay, see, can you do me a favor, Jesse? You gotta mute yourself because we're hearing you in the background, Jesse.
So what? Cynthia will be sending you the information on the FLP committees when they're having their meetings. I would appreciate if you do make yourself available, so like this we can then keep a rapport with your establishment.
Yeah, absolutely, that'd be awesome. And anything you guys need for the community, please feel free to reach out. I heard that
just serve good food.
There were a lot of activities last month. So moving forward, we will also like to participate.
Just serve good food. That's all we ask.
Infante. Okay, let's move on then. Thank you. The next item on the agenda is a new application for Don Chili at 801 Southern Boulevard. There was some concerns raised at the committee, and this item has been postponed for next month. So they will be coming back next month. They have some follow-up work to do with the 41st precinct, and then we'll entertain them at the committee next month.
Sergeant Cook, if you're still on.
I'm still here, Chairman.
Okay. Sergeant Cook, I asked that if possible, I know that you did it once before, before this meeting. And they didn't do it. They said they had cameras up and running, but they had cameras up, but they were not running. I would like to know if 801 does have cameras up and running.
My officers responded, they
Where are
had
you?
cameras, the cameras were not up and running.
Okay.
So that's where we are with that. We tried to get video on that date that,
Yeah.
they had made the complaint about the drinking.
Yeah.
That being said, my guys have made periodical checks there. We haven't had any issues as of yet. But
Okay.
I'll keep you posted. We'll be ready to go for
right.
the next board meeting.
All right, but by the next committee meeting, if you could let us know if the cameras are up and running, I would like to.
They said they were going to get them fixed, Chairman.
Okay.
That's where I left off with the owner. So
Okay, thank you very much, Sarge.
All right, thank you, Sergeant. Moving on. Now, item number 3, we have a new application for La Maraca Pizzeria Corp. located at 857 East 149th Street. They were applying for a full license. They have recorded music and a DJ. This establishment will serve full food. So this application, there was a lot of concerns that were brought up from the 41st precinct. They do have some open complaints with the State Liquor Authority. And the captain also had mentioned the previous owner they've been in contact with during COVID, and the police had to go to a couple of times at this location and investigate, and there was no cooperation. At that time, the committee voted to deny the application. So the motion on the table now is to deny this application at 857 East 149th Street. Pastor John, you have anything you want to say? I know we need to get this second before we go into discussion, though. So if someone wants to second the motion, now would be the time.
Anybody wish to second this motion to deny?
second.
Who's aye?
Sandra.
Sandra.
Jesus.
Thank you, Sandra. Okay, now that it's second, there can be a discussion if anybody has any questions as to why the committee wanted to present it as a denial. Any discussion?
I was just wondering what how the committee responded to the business and let them know what they could do differently.
I think that it's the past history that was in that particular location, Miles. It was a billiard place, and they had some disturbances, people drinking outside, urinating outside, people walking out of there so intoxicated that that it created a problem. The 4-1 precinct has said that all of that from 149 to Avenue St. John has been a trouble spot for the precinct. We've been looking at all of the licenses when they come up, and I think, and Pastor John is on, and he can correct me if I'm wrong. I think that what the committee decided was not to put an additional liquor license in that particular area until we can get a sort of a control of what's happening there. Pastor John?
Yes. Thank you, Mr.
Also
Chairman.
to for Miles' question, Miles, the owner was present, or at least someone representing the corp was present. And when they the concerns were made and they were raised at the committee, there was really nothing there was nothing the owner presented that was different. He's not bringing in something different. He's looking to continue what's already there, and we've having issues with that establishment. So he's looking for a new license, but they didn't present anything different. You know, a different format, a different plan, a different security plan. Everything remained the same. So there's issues with how that is currently run. So I think the committee also took that into account, that understanding that there's, you know, a lot of issues there on a criminal element that the police always has to get involved. They didn't present anything new or anything different to combat that. And I guess the committee felt that, as the chairman now was just stating, there's no need to, you know, give a new license here if it's going to be the behavior is going to continue. So that had something to do with it, Miles. I don't know if Pastor John has anything else he wants to say, but I think we should start going into a vote here also.
Yeah, I just want to say that according to the police precinct, there are some open violations that are still not resolved. And like it has been stated, that establishment has created a lot of problems. There've been a lot of complaints by the residents, and the police precinct have had to deal with so many cases with regards to that establishment. So right now, it's a problem. It's a hotspot in the community, and we had no choice. Like the chairman and the district manager have said, they don't have a plan on what they can do to reduce the incidents in the establishment. In the community deliberation, we depend so much on information from the district office, information from the police precincts, and in as much as we want to work with businesses, if they have if they're unable to run their business in a way that improves the quality of life of the community, it becomes very difficult for us to work with them.
Okay, thank you. And now I have my microphone working here. I was trying to say abstain on the other two before this, but I don't think it went through. But thank you.
That's all right, Miles. Thank you for clarifying that. So
I'll note it. I'll note it now.
yes, perfect. Thank you, Miles. So we have a motion. Yes, sir.
Just to interject real quick. So we not only had issues with, like Pastor John was saying, not only we had issues with the location as far as serving alcohol, but we had considerable violence that was emanating from that spot. I.e., we had a shooting that I personally investigated, went back, watched the video. It emanated from that location. I personally did 4 different SLA checks on them. And Bobby and Ralph and I had spoke at length about these checks that we did. Mind you, this was during the pandemic, and they literally had the gate closed, over capacity, numerous occasions. They were serving alcohol with no liquor license. I mean, this wasn't just 1 or 2 occasions. And we listen, once again, we don't look to pick on anybody, but once shots fired are emanating from a location, that's when we have to get involved. So that was the issue with them. They have multiple cases open with other agencies that we are working with. So the owner is actually being investigated for other stuff as well. So that was the real issue that we were dealing with, Miles. Just to piggyback what the chairman and the district manager were saying.
I appreciate it. You all are, very important and take it very seriously. So thank you.
Okay, so we have Monique had her hand raised and then took it down. I just want to make sure she doesn't have a question.
I do have a question. My question was he invited to this meeting? Because, Miles.
Of course he was invited. He was there. The owner was there, and he didn't have a response to any of these the questions and concerns that were raised. He didn't have any response for.
I was there, Ralph, but what I was saying, the point that I was making, right, when you answered the question that yes, he was invited to this meeting. And, quite honestly, I was kind of rooting for him, like, dude, you got to do better. But he didn't come to this meeting also, Miles. Had he been here, he could have probably presented something else, or said, like, could I get another chance or something. He didn't come to this meeting, and that kind of played a part in it, too.
Okay.
I appreciate it. You all seem to really know it very well. Thank you.
Thank you, Miles. So, Pastor John, motion was made at the committee. It was seconded here by Sandra De Jesus, if I'm not mistaken. I think we can go into the vote now.
The vote's going to be taken. Is there anybody against the motion to deny this license?
Miles is abstaining, but thank you all for your due diligence.
Thank you, Miles. Anybody else? Anybody saying no? So there's only one abstention, which is Miles. Am I correct? So the motion carries. Who?
I don't,
Oh,
I'm abstaining too.
Maggie abstains.
Maggie abstains, okay. All right, so,
Moving on. So I will notify the State Liquor Authority immediately regarding that.
thank you.
Item number 4, review new application for Patrona Mexican Cantina Corp. located at 5587 Boulevard. They're applying for a flow license. They have recorded music. They have a full menu with an outdoor permit. We had a representative, but not the principal, that came to the committee, and we really need the principal there to make these decisions, to allow a representative that's not the power of attorney. Owner can always come back to dispute that. So this item was postponed for next month, and hopefully the owner will make themselves available and can come to the committee. So the item number 4 was not tabled but postponed. So there was 2 items here, both on Southern Boulevard, 801 and 558. Moving on. Number 5, review of renewal application for the X Invest LLC trade name Boogie Down Grand Cafe, located at 868 Hunts Point Avenue. Establishment will have a menu that meets the legal minimum food availability. They're applying for a wine, beer, and cider. They'll have a DJ, recorded music, karaoke, and live music. They have an outdoor area, and they're participating in the New York City Open Restaurant program. At this time, at the committee, there was some questions that were raised about the music, outdoors in particular. And in this case, the owner understood what it was and would make the necessary arrangements with the 41st precinct going forward to get a sound permit that's allowed. And there's some restrictions with the sound permit, but the owner will need to follow up with the precinct with that. It was passed at committee, and this is where we at now. So we will need a second for this motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Richard Sherman seconds. Okay, so let's go into discussion if there is any discussion.
Any discussions? Not hearing none. All those, is there anybody against this license? State it now. Yes or no? I mean.
Miles abstains.
Miles abstains. Yes, Miles.
Abstains. All right. Any abstentions? Let's start it from there. So
I
Miles is.
abstain. And
Okay.
Sandra de Jesus.
Sandra
Okay.
de Jesus.
Thank you.
Who else?
And Sandra and Miles.
Okay. Is there anyone that objects to this license? Not hearing none, I will then deem that the board has approved this particular license, and we will send a letter to the State Liquor Authority stating that this establishment was approved for a license. Okay?
Okay, Pastor John, that's all for your committee. I
Thank
don't know
you.
if there's anything else that you want to say, Pastor John.
Not at all. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Pastor John, I know that I owe you a call. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Also, I just want to acknowledge that the principal owner of the Boogie Down Grind Cafe is here. I see James. So thank you, James, for participating. And I'm going to speak on behalf of the board and, wish you luck going forward for the next 2 years. And we're here to be supportive as best as we can. And if there's anything the board can do to help out, just don't hesitate to reach out. Okay.
Well, you're all welcome to join us for a drink anytime.
My man. Thank you, James. Okay, Pastor John, then that concludes your committee report.
Thanks.
Health and Human Services, Lloyd. Lois?
Hi, I'm just trying to look for the unmute button. So, first of all, I wasn't able to be in my health committee this month. Julia
So
shared
Julia,
with me. Thank you, Julia. But basically, we had two presentations. One was Suray Miranda from the mayor's office, and she spoke about it. And also was Yolanda Rodriguez from the Josephine Herrick project that she also was in the beginning of the meeting in the public session, and she spoke about it. So that's basically what we spoke in our health committee. The minutes are written. There's more information and specific, detailed information in the minutes. I invite you to look at the minute. The minutes. Thank you very much.
thank you. Ralph, the next page.
I'm sorry about that. Next page, we got youth.
Larry?
Wait a minute. Something went wrong here. Because this looks like it's the end of that one. Hold on a moment. And I don't see education. So let's just go on with the agenda. Youth. We got Larry.
Well,
Larry, you there?
Yeah, okay. Larry?
Can you hear me now?
Yes,
Yes,
we can.
sir.
Larry.
Good evening, everybody. My report is short. We had 3 presenters. One was Miss, I'm not pronouncing her name, is Nguyi, I think a Ugai. I'm not sure about that, but she was from the Immigration Coalition, and she was giving us a presentation on the education, guides for immigrants in New York City, how they can learn about their rights and the services that they're entitled to. It was pretty good. It was pretty long, pretty extensive. And I think it was good for the community. I've been posting these flyers that she gave me up. I got my report in late to Cynthia. I apologize, Dan. But she talked about how you respond and act if ICE approach you at your door, knock on your door, ring your bell, or stop you in the street. That's with her. That's it. Our second presenter was Cynthia. Can you help me pronounce her name?
Miss
Miss Dominguez.
Yes.
Miss
I
Dominguez.
can't say that
Okay.
name either.
You couldn't say that name either? Okay, well, she gave us a presentation about her organization. And the funny thing about her organization, I always thought it was already here in the neighborhood already, but I guess, I don't know, was she actually with the neighborhood shop, or I couldn't understand what was her title towards that. But she talked about they basically work with the seniors. Somebody say something?
No.
Okay, she works with the seniors, how to reduce their attention for the COVID effect, isolation, reducing hunger, building capacity, how to connect with Department of Housing, Department of Youth and Community Development. And she offered a lot of services to our seniors in the community, which I thought was pretty good. Our last presenter was Mr. Antoine No, the founder of We Got Next Sports, which is an organization that does a lot of stuff with our youth in the community. He lives on the other side of Beretta Street by Lafayette, I believe. And I think he's teaming up with Ralph Arroyo at the Banknote Building to do some future events for the youth, especially girls in our community. And that's about it on my presentation. And Bobby, I have one more thing to say. We're going to have a couple of meetings going forward, the back to school event. There's no guarantee this event will take place. As you know, we're in the COVID-19 era. We're looking forward to the guidelines, I'm pretty sure, from our city officials, our Bronx Borough president, and our governor. If they allow us, we'll have it. If they don't, we'll do it next year. That's my report.
All right.
Thank
Thank you, Larry. Mr. Chair, there's an
Yes, sir.
error on the agenda. And I
Yeah.
think before we go to special events, we need to go over the education committee. They did have a presentation by Democracy Prep, and I know Yvonne is here. Maybe Yvonne could just brief everyone. And they are representatives from Democracy Prep around. I saw them. I don't know if they're still here. But Madam
Yes,
Chair,
go ahead.
you want to talk about it, Madam Chair?
Yeah, I'll talk about it really briefly. Good evening, everybody. We had an education committee meeting last week. We had Democracy Prep, some representatives from Democracy Prep come and introduce their schools to us. So they will be building a brand new building, a school in 1000 Westchester. They're going to be opening 2 K-5 campuses in that building in 2 years. So the school is going to open this school, well, the school year 21-22, but in the Williamsbridge section of the Bronx. And after like 2 years, they'll come over to our neighborhood, but they're building their school in 1000 Westchester. They're going to open up 2 schools from kindergarten to 5th grade with a total of 850 students when the school is like fully fleshed out. They are actively recruiting families from our district. They will be serving special ed students. They will have programs of the arts. Preference will be given to students in school district 12. And yeah, that's about it. Did I miss anything, Ralph?
No. Oh, so they had representatives. I do see Ms. Laus
Princess
here.
and Ricky.
Yes,
Yeah,
I'm
Ms. Laus,
here.
no. We don't need you to present now. We know the
Okay.
presentation was made already, but we just want to acknowledge that you are here. Thank you so much. And Mr. Gautier, I see, is also here. Thank you so much, guys. And I just want to reiterate what Madam Chair was just stating, that we want to offer support. We just need you guys to be transparent with us going forward. This is a great deal. I have Paula Fields with her hand raised. Paula?
Can you tell me the cross streets between the location of where the school is
This is
going
the
to
new
be?
building on Westchester and Simpson and Fox. So it's a brand new building there.
Oh,
It's gonna be
okay.
6 stories high.
Okay.
And the whole building is going to be a total of 2 schools there. Monique has her hand
Thank
raised.
you.
Monique didn't have her hand raised. Okay. So I think that concluded your
Ralph,
report, Madam Chair.
Did you have a question?
I didn't have a question, but that's it. There's no more questions. So,
Go ahead. All right, go ahead.
so we're good with this report. Thank you so much, Madam Chair, for that. And I apologize for omitting that on the agenda. So now we're up to special events, and I know that Chairman Tavares is not here. I don't know if Cynthia wants to go over the report. It was just a lot of possible events that are coming up that we'll discuss. If not, I'll be more than happy to go over the report.
You could go ahead, Ralph.
So the autism walk, we was discussing, we were gonna have our banner. We donated 100 school kits that went off very well. The Garifuna event that the mayor's office had, and also part that Suri was a part of. They also had a mobile testing site for a week in that area, so that worked off really well. We're in the process of doing Al Quinones street co-naming for 52 Park. So we're actually doing the street first. And as we always like to mention, Al Quinones was a former board member and revitalized that whole area around 52 Park, with their summer outings and their events and their concerts. So we're looking forward to that. I think it's Friday, May 28th. Once we get the official flyer, we'll be more than happy to send that out to everyone. We did disclose the flyer for the Juneteenth festival. It's going to be a virtual festival this year. If anyone needs any information, we can provide that. We was thinking about doing a cleanup from the board, and it just didn't work out. So what we did was pass along information of people doing cleanups in the community. We were discussing about the Halloween parade. That's coming up soon, so we got to make sure that all the ducks are in order in case we're able to have a parade this year. We did discuss the Christmas paranda that Casita Maria is looking to do in the community, along with NYPD and the board. And then
Hold on, Ralph, I'm sorry. So it's going to be holiday paranda, but even though it's named Christmas, we're going to include Hanukkah and Kwanzaa as well.
Kwanzaa, yes, I'm sorry. So it's going to be a paranda of all holiday festivals that are celebrated in our community also. So that's a really good thing, and we're looking forward to seeing that. With the precinct council is also thinking about doing a trunk and treat also. We discussed the Thanksgiving turkey giveaways, the Christmas toy giveaways. A lot of this stuff is up in the air depending on restrictions. But we're hoping that by the time the fall comes, we can have some more answers regarding that. Maritza mentioned about her COVID. So COVID testing at the office, at the council member's office. She just described that also. And And then Sokola did mention that this year is going to be the 20th anniversary of 9/11. So I'm sure the precinct is looking to do a big event for that. And last but certainly not least, we was discussing the back to school event. And as Chairman Robinson mentioned, we're not sure we're able to have it because of restrictions, but nonetheless, the planning will go forward so we can be prepared. And that will conclude the special events committee report. I think we can skip the executive committee report and maybe we can go into the housing and land use report. So Paula, you
Good evening, everyone. I'm so glad everyone could be present. I hope all is safe. April's Housing and Land Committee meeting was canceled primarily because no one was on the agenda, and I also had a family emergency, so it sort of worked out best for me. And we had a meeting this month, April the 22nd, in reference to some concerns and safety issues from a lot of the tenants in the district, primarily PRC. However, as noted earlier, other management organizations in the district were invited to this meeting, along with NYPD, Department of Homeless Services was there. Other officials were invited, and the meeting went very well and it was very successful. Our follow-up will be having another meeting with just key pointers like Department of Homeless Services, which that was an issue and a concern of many people on Simpson Street with the vagrancies in the building and other buildings in that area. And there's no date as to when that's going to be. However,
Paula,
we're
but we were
working on it.
also, I'm sorry, we also wanted to invite Christina.
Right, from the
From the
DA's
DA's
office.
office, because there was a lot of talk with her department.
So, as Cynthia mentioned, we wanted to invite the DA's office, and that primarily is it. In May's meeting, I will give a brief summation of how the meeting went, because as noted, a lot of the members of my committee wanted to be present, but I decided that it would be best that we just have the forum amongst myself and the elected officials and the management office, along with the chairperson. So I will give a report to my committee and anyone who's involved, who's interested in May's meeting, and I will have a follow-up by that time. Thank you and have a great evening.
Thank you, Paula. Chairman, I don't know if you do want to just mention anything about the executive committee. There was just a lot of administrative business that was conducted there. So
Everything that was discussed tonight was already discussed at the executive.
it was. So, moving on the agenda, we're up to old business. I have some old business, and I'll be as brief as possible that I didn't mention. Just to reiterate with people regarding the Department of Sanitation, the whole borough is experiencing a decrease of service with sanitation, and I try my best to stay diligent with them, and I can only do so much because of the way the district is. One day there could be garbage and debris, and then the next day none. So I'm just kindly asking everyone if they're noticing something, and even if they're not sure, just reach out to the office regarding that, because that's one of going into the summer now. That's going to be a big thing with sanitation, and I'm happy to see that Miles on the bid is also actively on top of and aggressive with sanitation to do the best that they can. So I just want to acknowledge that. That's the only old business, Mr. Chair.
Ralph, could I just say something briefly? I just want to say that it was a pleasure working with sanitation in the bid. We're cleaning up the debris and garbage that was on Southern Boulevard, and I got a chance and opportunity to express to the merchants, some of the merchants, how important it is to make sure that they keep the area clean. And it was just a successful thing, and it was very heavily involved with the elected officials in our district.
Great, yeah. Okay. If there's no other old business, we got new business. Hold on. I have Miles with his hand raised. How Miles?
Yes. Hi everyone. Yeah, so quickly, thank you all so much to you that came to the cleanup event we had this month. Paula, Detective Jude, different community board members, sanitation. It was it's Senator Sepulveda, Assemblymember Burgos. We had a bunch of people there. It was really lovely to see how much people care about our commercial corridor. And I know the businesses appreciated it. We are doing that event once a month to give everybody an opportunity to help us. So if you are in the mood, we are having another event on May 15th at 8 a.m. till 11 a.m. Please RSVP. I'll put the information in the chat really quick.
Miles, make sure if you got a flyer that you give it to the board so we can blast that out also, okay?
I will for sure do that. Thank you.
Thank
I
you,
also
Miles.
want to thank everybody who was at the recruitment event in Del Valle Square yesterday. It was really great to see, NYPD engaging many of our youth and everyone for that. So we appreciate that. And then I just had a matter of new business. I wanted to flag that during the Economic Development Committee, Municipality Committee, I was sort of troubled by the presentation by Department of Transportation with their plans for putting in a bike lane on Westchester between Southern Boulevard and Whitlock.
Jesse, you need to mute yourself, Jesse. I'm sorry.
I had it muted.
This bike lane that they're proposing, they said very casually, is going to take about 40 parking spots away. When asked what that percentage would be of the parking spaces in that area, they did not have that answer, or were not willing to tell us. When I did a walk of that area yesterday, that is a very significant amount of parking. I just wanted everyone to be aware of this issue because we are already facing a vacancy problem on Southern Boulevard, where businesses are not willing to come here, stuff like Red Lobster and other places that people are interested in, because there is no parking and they don't believe it will make a feasible business plan for them. So to take 40 parking spots away from this area that is already struggling and has businesses that rely on this parking when we already have double, triple parking, I think it's clear that we cannot be losing parking spots. That's my opinion as the bid director and as a member of community board too. So I just hope everybody will, passionately, if they believe what I believe, tell Department of Transportation and our elected officials to stand up and say that that is not acceptable. But thank you all so much.
Yeah, Miles, and remember they said they were going to come back to the drawing board. And meeting that you're describing, the council member was actually present, and the council member himself was a little offended by the presentation. So there'll be a lot of follow-up, and they'll go through the municipality committee, and we'll take it from there. We have two hands
Just a
raised.
reminder, they can actually see all of these videos on our YouTube
Yes,
channel.
that's right. We can always refer back to that. Maggie has her hand raised. Maggie?
Yes, also in Southern Boulevard, where you stand at the bus stop, all that double parking and blocking the bus stop, you stand there and the bus keeps going because there's so many cars parked that the bus driver doesn't see the people at the bus stop.
All right.
I've been one of them.
We'll make note of that for sure, and I'm sure Miles will hear that. So, and then Paula has a hand raised.
Thank you so much, Miles, for bringing that point across, because I do believe it's like every other block is taking up so many parking spaces in this district. And when you go to Manhattan, they don't take up parking spaces, but they do have a area on the sidewalk that they take up. And that's what we should be advocating for. If they want to put bikes, we're not against the bikes. However, we're against taking the parking spaces. Thank you.
Well, just so like that, everybody understands, DOT is supposed to come back on this plan that Miles stated. They're supposed to come back to ECHO and municipalities when they have more of a refined understanding of what it's going to be. They caught everybody off guard because nobody knew about this, not the councilman, not anybody. And again, it's the city administration trying to get around the community board the same way they got around by putting up these bike racks on the streets and taking parking spaces. It looked like they identify community board too, because I don't see as many bike racks in other community boards as I see in board 2. In a matter of 3 blocks from where I live at, I have approximately 3 bike racks of 20 bikes each. I mean, nobody in this community rides that much bike. I'm sorry. I mean, I believe in alternative transportation, but it's not it's not happening in this community. And they just, I think that they just purposely identified Ward 2 for that. So they got to come back to give us a report on the bikes. They got to come back and give us a report on Westchester Avenue, and as well as they got to come back and discuss some street lighting. For instance, Reverend John has brought it up to the councilman concerning Longwood and Prospect, how dark it is in that little five corner area. They got to come back and give us a discussion on that side. So there's a lot of work from DOT, but besides DOT, there's also reports that have to come back from the other city agencies, and including HPD on these developments that are coming up.
So Bobby, is there any data being taken of how much the consumers use those bikes in the places that they are? I mean, how do you get
they're supposed to come back and give us that report on how much is being used. And honestly, Paula, you've been around this neighborhood longer than I have. And
I know.
And you know that, you know, and you walk around here. Everybody around here, everybody that's on the board and outside of the board knows this area pretty well. A lot of people ain't using that many bike racks, and we're losing
none.
We're losing that many car spots, and now to suggest to lose another 40 off of Westchester Avenue, even though I was not present because I was ill that day, and I had told Ralph I wasn't going to be able to make it, but he reported to me that night what happened, and I was sort of glad that the councilman got on when he got on, because when he found out about it, he blew holy hell into everybody's rectum in DOT. And I think that, you know, that's what's going to be needed in the next couple of months, because we have an administration that's leaving. They don't care what they're going to do to any community, and we have to be prepared to discuss these issues, whether we're pro or con, but we have to be prepared to discuss it. And the city is taking the position of we're going to do it regardless to what the community wants.
But don't forget all those parking spots they took in the square where the buses are. That was a lot of parking spots. The whole square, they took all of that from Westchester. You know, it's just horrible because people work and they can't. My son's car has been broken in 6 times. Okay, parking on the street. That's outrageous. We need to have options, better options. I'm sorry.
No, you're right. You're right.
I just wanted to say, like, I wanted to make sure everybody knows the council member seemed very concerned about this and is going to take it very seriously. I could tell. I just wanted to make sure everybody on the board is aware, because they weren't at committee. Thank you.
We do have some hands raised also. We have Jennifer Kelman.
Yes, Jennifer.
Hi.
I know you're going to tell me the bike racks in front of your place.
Right. So you kind of already answered my question.
Okay. Thank you.
That's also part of the feedback to us.
Right. Now, Love has her hand up. Love.
Yes, I agree. I agree about the bikes taking up too much space. I've seen it. I drive around and I've seen it. If there's anything I could do, Miles, let me know to help with your course. Okay.
Great. Thank you, Love. Sandra De Jesus.
Yes. Yeah, we're gonna be. I'm talking about. We already have all the bike lanes installed on the Hunts Point site. It's ridiculous the way they did us, because there's so many people that park normally in front of their house, around the corner. Now we have to park in different places, and like Paula said, our cars have been broken into because these bike spaces are taking up most of the Hunts Point site. And I mean, you know, Ralph, because you've been over here, there's a lot of bike lanes that are unnecessary. They could just The same way they do in Manhattan, they can put them on the sidewalk rather than have them in the street.
That's
I
right.
want to keep find out for the next meeting if there's any way they can take them off the street and put them on the
Well,
sidewalk.
Sergio, it won't be for the next meeting, so they need a year of analysis, and we're already past the 6-month part. So we're kindly waiting for them to come back with a report on the number of bikes being used here. So we'll get back to you with that when they present that at the municipality committee.
Mr.
Ralph Jeffrey Corn. I'm sorry. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
Jeffrey, hold on a moment, Jeffrey, because there's other people here that had their hand raised, but I see you physically raising your hand.
Okay.
So just bear with me. Reverend John had his hand up.
Yes, I
that we are circulating.
wanted
Jeffrey, can you mute yourself, Jeffrey?
Somebody out there got their mic open.
That's Jeffrey. Thank you, Jeffrey. Go ahead, Reverend John.
Yes, I also wanted to say that, you know, with all the new housing developments that we have in the district, we are only going to have increased parking challenges. So it is important that we find a way to encourage developers to provide parking in their building. They can have underground parking, because the more people are moving into the districts, many of them have 1 or 2 cars. So, and some of them may be like 2 or 3 people in a family, and everybody has a car. So we are not going to see a decrease in the number of cars. More people are coming in with more vehicles. So we need to encourage developers to also be thinking of how to provide parking in their buildings. Many of them have had it so easy with us in the past. Going forward, I think it is important, just like they do in Manhattan and other places. Let them not only think of how to maximize the space to make more money. Let them think of providing these basic conveniences for their tenants as well.
Okay, duly noted, Reverend John. Thank you so much. Now we have a couple of people that their hands are raised. I don't know, Paula. But before we get to you, Jeffrey Corn had his hand raised. So Jeffrey.
I'm trying to get more
bicycles on Prospect Avenue and 167.
The same thing here, you know.
Bike back on the street.
On June
Okay.
9th.
Just Jeffrey, send an email to us. Send us an email to the office, and we'll look into that. Okay.
Okay.
Now Paula had a hand raised. Paula.
I'm just gonna call Jennifer and ask the question I want. I want to ask Jennifer a question, but I'll just call her. Thank you.
Okay, and then we have Love again and Larry again. Love. Okay.
Go to Larry.
Larry. Larry. Nothing then. Okay. So,
wait a minute. Hello.
You hear me?
Right, do like this.
Hey, wait.
Yes, Jesse, go.
Yeah, when you know, we're talking about the bike lanes, and we're talking about, you know, the thriving economic situation in the community. And what we're not doing, we're not sitting down and smartly planning this. There's an election coming up. We want to put these people on the spot to let them know that they're taking economic power out of our community by putting those bike racks up along Southern Boulevard. And if a company like, say, McDonald's or one of the big restaurants want to come, those are jobs for our community that are desperately needed. So we need to present it to them so they can give us their economic plan so we can move some of these things out of the community now.
You're right, Jess. And that's why we want them to come. We want DOT to come in and tell us what they have to do. And it's gone a little bit more than 6 months. I think it's about maybe 7-8 months we're into. So they should be coming to us pretty soon. So we all have to be ready when that presentation comes around.
But we need to present them with a plan to say that, you know, Red Lobster wants to come and they can't come for this particular reason. in this particular area. We need to have that mapped out, even if they come or if they don't come.
Okay, we'll certainly follow up with that, and when the meeting does happen, we'll kindly remind everyone so they can participate in the meeting and voice their concerns. So thank you for that, Jesse. Now, it's Mr. Chair, we still got Love with our hand raised, and
It's a computer error.
Okay, so moving on, announcements. I think Ray Arroyo had an announcement.
But before we go to Ray, I just want, so I can get it off my chest and I don't forget. At the end of May, from May 24th to June 2nd, I will not be in town. I'm asking the first vice chair to conduct all meetings of the board and the executive committee from the 24th straight through the 2nd. I will be away in Georgia. I will be with my grandson at his graduation.
All right.
I will be assisting with the meetings. I will definitely run the meetings. Thank you.
Thank you. So Ray Arroyo was the only one that we know had an announcement. Ray?
Good evening, everyone. I just wanted to let people know that the vaccine clinic that's at the banknote was just for city employees, but now they've opened up to the community. No appointment. It's 7 days a week, Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. and on Sunday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. You can bring anyone you want. They can actually accommodate up to 1,000 people a day if they had that, if they needed it to. So, you know, at the point is our community place, but if there's a day that they're closed and you can't make it, please come over to the banknote. The address is 847 Barretto Street. Just look at the glass doors, you'll see the sign.
Ray, what age and do they need ID?
They just need something with their name on it. It's the Moderna magazine. So, and you can come for the first or second shot. They'll do either one. There's no preference. And it's my understanding the Moderna is 16 and up.
Great. So much for that, Ray. And if you have any flyers or anything, please send it to the office so we can distribute that to the community.
Yeah.
I've asked them for a flyer. They haven't provided one yet. I may just make one at this point, but I've already forwarded about 30, 40 people there.
Okay.
And they had no issues walking in.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Ray. Is there anybody else with announcements?
Ralph. Yeah, I have one. Ralph?
Yes, Jesse.
And this is especially for Bobby because he gave some dates that he's going to be away. May 19th is a famous day. Malcolm X's birthday and Jesse Harris's birthday. So I just want to make sure the gifts are left at the office for me.
All right, Jesse.
You got it, Jess.
Blessings to you. Any more announcements?
Yeah, just one more. Cynthia. Cynthia?
Yes.
Okay. I just want to make sure you're here. I just want everybody to know here that we are Cynthia's working with Ralph to create a workshop, and we're going to have a keynote speaker that's going to be on suicide prevention and what creates suicide. As we go along in these days, as we're opening up the city and opening up these locations, we have to be more aware of what's happening with our kids and our elderly, as well as our family members. So we're going to be Cynthia's going to be having a blast out to everybody that's on tonight to have a suicide forum. We have a keynote speaker. Where was he from? Cynthia, I forgot. Cynthia?
She'll probably be right.
Right. Anyway, I forgot. One of the board members recommended him to us, and he made a quick presentation, and I invited him to make sure that he make a whole. We're going to give out a whole hour and 45 minutes. An hour for his presentation because he does a very lengthy presentation, and then 45 minutes of questioning. So I want everybody that's on today to be on the lookout for that blast out that Cynthia's going to do concerning the Suicide Prevention Forum. Now that we're coming out of this these days, we have to be more cognizant of our family and our kids and some of the things that are going to possibly could occur. Thank you.
Hey, I think that concludes announcements, so we can go into roll call.
Yes, sir.
All right. Have a good evening, everybody. When you hear your name, please let me know that you're here. Telvis Austin Jr., Evelyn Arauz.
Present.
Thank you. Love Bensecourt.
Good night.
Good night. Miles Burnett.
Thank you.
Good night. Luis Castillo. Paula Fields Conyers.
Good night.
Night. Stephanie Cordero. Robert Crespo. Altagracia Cruz.
Good night. Good night.
Good night, guys. Julia Cruz.
Here.
Angela Jesus. Kevin
Here.
Ellison.
Good night.
Good night. Sonia Ferguson. Scout Gomez.
Here. Present. Here.
Shataria McCoy Greg.
Good night.
Good night. Alexandra Guadalupe.
She's excused.
Harris. Shaquan Hunt.
Jesse Harris is here.
Jesse's here, right?
I know. Thank you, Jesse. Jennifer Kelman. Jeffrey Korn.
Good night.
Good night. LaShawn Lindsay. Good night. Talia Simone Lindquist.
Good night.
Good night. Barbara Lopez. Roland Lopez. Nicholas Mario. Luis Marrero.
Good night.
Good night. Cedric McCluster. Monique Minnis.
Good night.
Good night. Robert Moses. Lynette Olmo.
Good night. Good night.
Lynette Olmo. Maggie Ortiz. Larry Robinson. Richard Sherman.
Good night.
Good night. Viancy. I hear Maria Torres.
Goodbye.
Marilyn Rowan. Good night. Pastor John Udo.
Good night.
All right, everybody. Have a good
Elvis
night.
wrote in the chat. So Elvis is here. He just wrote in the chat. So
All right. Thank you, Telvis.
I will take a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Have a good evening.
Adjourned. Okay. Adjourned.
Okay.
Okay.
Take
Thank you,
care.
everyone. Good night.
Good night.
Take care. President's speech.